Sony, are you brain dead? Come on. Do you need help for your day in studio? I'm waiting. Listen, you've made some really good films, all with Spider-Man. How'd you ruin Sam Raimi? I love his films. There are Spider-Man 1 and 2 were perfect. But Spider-Man 3, I've been listening. And I'm just wondering, what the hell? Someone told Sam Raimi, I guess, or something. Well, Sam Raimi, or whatever. I was watching a YouTube video, looking at their sources, looking at their, looking for research on Spider-Man 4 that was canceled. And Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man 3. Now, The Amazing Spider-Man 3, I get it. Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 had too much for future use. But Spider-Man 3, let me tell you, like I said, on my first Spidey, the first Spidey talk show episode, just Sandman and Hobgoblin, or the new Goblin, or whatever you want to call him, it would have been perfect. Take Venom out of the story, you hardly change anything. Peter's ego was already rising because he was confident in him being a hero, which is what he kind of needed in Spider-Man 2. He needed to, raise his hopes up, I don't know, weird, I don't know. He lost his power because of, he just wished to be normal again, and God said, you know what? Screw it. Till Peter's like, oh, wait, my girlfriend's about to die. But it would have been the same, really. His ego would have been still risen. Not more or less douchebag level, like Bully Maguire. And honestly, you could have done this. You could have had, MJ, a New Goblin, and Peter's argument for the whole time. Sandman needs the money. Peter leaves in, an argument or whatever. With, Peter leaves, an argument or whatever with MJ, and Harry swings off, goes on to fight Sandman. Sandman wins. Peter goes back. More talking. Later, boom. Fight between New Goblin and Spider-Man. Boom, boom, boom. Fight. Then Sandman interrupts, saying that he's going to get the money one way or another, no matter how many heroes there are. New Goblin and Spider-Man stop him. Sandman and Peter have a talk on the roof about same stuff. And New Goblin gets to live, become Peter's partner. Good movie. I mean, it's better than anything that the CG to Venom was. But then I hear the plot for Spider-Man 4. At the beginning, it was a very bigger Mysterio getting arrested, played by Bruce Campbell, because, Bruce Campbell, Ash Williams, one of the more iconic horror slashers characters, Survivor, I don't want to call him a slasher because slashers are bad, like Freddy and Jason or Michael. Ash William, he's more of just chainsaw heads off demons, um, chew arse, and kick gum. He's that type of guy. Well, Mysterio gets arrested at the beginning. Then later, it's like Vulture, Black Cat's like Vulture's sidekick, the Vulturess or whatever. It would have been good. And Sam Raimi said he wanted to end it off on a high note. That was going to be the last Spider-Man film. So no, none of the no one can really prove the whole he was going to make 6, because if he was going to make 6, wouldn't it have just been smart to make Venom and Venom alive and Sandman still a villain? Because then you have 2 members, plus you already kind of killed Green Goblin and Doc Ock. I mean, who else is going to be a part of the Sinister Six? See? They already had 2 of the more important members, because I don't think there's a single Sinister Six without Doc Ock in it, that I know of anyway. But Doc Ock is like the leader, if not that, at least Green Goblin is to the Sinister Six. But anyways, that's besides the point. I just look back on these old Spider-Man movie and I say, wow, I hate Tom Holland now. Don't get me wrong, I love Tom Holland, but I've looked back and I've just been thinking, what the absolute hell? I mean, Spider-Man 4? Bloody hell. That was going to be an amazing movie. Mysterio, Vulture, the Vulturess, Black Cat. Would have been amazing. Would have been the last Spider-Man movie, man. And this is where my hopes are getting high, because Spider-Man No Way Home, if it does actually bring Tobey and Andrew back, we could finish their franchises. Who knows? They might show more villains in their world in No Way Home. Because we haven't seen the 6th villain yet. For all we know, it could be it could be like Vultures, the Vulture from Tobey Maguire's series, or it could be I don't know, Zombie Gwen Stacy from Andrew's world. Listen, the Spider-Man 4, Sam Raimi. There was thought put into that. When I heard what the Amazing Spider-Man 3 was going to be about, they were planning for a Sinister Six movie, yes, but just hear these spin-offs. Venom spin-off, we got that. We got a second movie too, so hey, pop it up. And then we got Morbius now, but then there was going to be things like a Gwen movie, a Miles movie, a 2099 Spider-Man movie, and you just listen to these and you're like, I would have loved this 10 times more. Because in my opinion, if Spider-Man 4 did happen, we wouldn't even be close to No Way Home. As I feel like if we got The Amazing Spider-Man 3 and Spider-Man 4 from Sam Raimi, it would have been the same. I mean, Spider-Man 4 was going to end anyway, so might as well reboot the franchise. I mean, that's what Jason did. And, I mean, The Amazing Spider-Man 3, Ugh. The Amazing Spider-Man 1, pretty normal. I mean, maybe it was like released a month later after Spider-Man 4. Who knows, maybe even a year. The Amazing Spider-Man 2, pretty average. I mean, I feel like the Amazing Spider-Man trilogy would have been released at the same date. Um, the Amazing Spider-Man 2 is maybe a few days, months older than its original release date, and then this Amazing Spider-Man 3 is somewhere within that middle, and then Tom Holland and Venom and all these things are pushed back along with these spin-offs, and it would be like the because I heard this and I finally got a confirmation about the villains that were going to be in the movies, and it makes me so happy that I heard that, because I'm like one of them type of people that are just like, I need to know. Don't land me on a cliffhanger. So, in retrospect, we got Mysterio, Vulture, the Vulturess. Uh, then we got the Sinister Six, pretty average. Green Goblin, Doc Ock, Rhino, Kraven the Hunter. They didn't reveal the sixth villain, but I honestly feel like it would be Morbius, because why not? That's all I got to talk about, man. I'm excited for No Way Home. Hope y'all are too. And remember, if we're lucky, one of their trilogies could still happen. I'm actually very nervous because Sony, you were high when y'all said Sam Raimi should just reboot the series. Listen, Sam Raimi, you're never going to watch this until like 30 years from now when you're in your coffin. I love your movies, man. Please, someone send this to him on Twitter. I don't know. Is that what popular people do nowadays? Twitter and Instagram, right? Yeah. Listen, Sam Raimi, your films are amazing, man. Spider-Man 3 was definitely the weakest one. I really hated how they pushed you to do Venom. Sandman, New Goblin, I feel like that should have been it. And from what I've been hearing about Spider-Man 4, I'd hold back on the Vulturess and just do Mysterio and Vulture. Because, I mean, either way, you would have had two villains in your other Spider-Man 3 if Venom was removed. It's just, I don't think three villains work. It's kind of when a Spider-Man movie goes downhill. It's if you're gonna have other Spider-Man villains, then just don't give them powers and like tease them for the next movie. But if they do, just have two powered villains like Vulture and Shocker, Doc Ock, Goblin, Mysterio and his drone things. And the only time when more villains with superpowers works is when you do the Sinister Six. I just really want y'all to know that. Sam Raimi, you're the best, man. I love your films. Still, though, in my opinion, sorry, Raimi, but Mark Webb has a better series. It just holds more nostalgia, better graphics. It's way younger, too. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. For the time, it was amazing. I love your films, man. Love Mark Webb, too. MCU. I don't know. Because after hearing what Spider-Man 4 could have been, and now imagining this in my head, I'm kind of like, Spider-Man 4 and The Amazing Spider-Man 3 were going to be crazy, because The Amazing Spider-Man 3, man, Peter's going to be doing some dark demon ritual stuff. Oh, da do we dem da rise, Gwen Stacy, from the dead. And her father, too. I mean, it was going to be nuts, man. I mean, it was just God amazing film. I love Sam Raimi. I love you, Andrew Garfield. Love you, Mark Webb. I love you, MCU. I love you, Tom Holland. I love all y'all. To my personal opinion, though, Andrew Garfield's the top dog. Depending on how No Way Home does, Tom Holland would be better if Mysterio is real. Unlike that drone son of a. I hated that movie for that. I really wish it was just powers. You hear me, MCU? Use powers. I swear to God. If one drone, I swear, if you use Mysterio as a drone, Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, I swear to God, I've been hearing rumors. If I see it, I'm suing you, Marvel. I'm suing you. Anyways, though, depending on how No Way Home does, so far, Sam Raimi and the MCU Spider-Man is perfectly even for me. Andrew Garfield just has the nostalgia for me. This has been a good video. I hope y'all liked what they were going to do for the Amazing Spider-Man 3 and Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 4. I wish it came out, all of them. I love their films. Have a good night. I'm tired. Sayonara. Big Chungus out.